Damon Martin, MMA Fighting, here with one of the biggest winners from last weekend's card, and he is on a major winning streak right now. And now a top 10 featherweight as well. Giga Chikadze. Giga, welcome back, man. Congratulations on another amazing win.
Thank you, my friend.
Let me start with that. Obviously, you knew going in, you know what kind of a competitor Cub Swanson is. Legend in the sport, fought everybody. Obviously, you were confident going in, but could you imagine that fight playing out any better than it did?
I expected, of course, some war, but I knew I could finish him because I got some special tools. You know, like this is not that about a chin. You know how tough you are or something. If I reach the liver, this is done, and I know that I'm able to do to anybody.
Absolutely. Obviously, you saw the reaction when you hit him with the kick. Did you can you tell, as a guy who's an experienced kickboxer, an experienced striker, can you tell when a kick lands like that you know it hurts him? Like, obviously you saw his reaction, but could you tell on your end, when the foot landed, did you know it landed that solid?
Yeah. I knew it was already done because I like, if you saw the fight, you can clearly see after the Cub dropped from the kick, I stopped it. You know, because I knew it was done. He could not come back from there for maybe for the minute he would be there, and the referee didn't stop me, you know, and I was like, okay, I have to go, all right. And then I did a couple of punches after, and I didn't want to do it. Maybe that was my mistake, because I have to do this till the referee stops you. But I knew that was what was enough.
Yeah. Can you kind of give me the origins of the Giga-kick? Everyone's been talking about the Giga-kick now. I know you've mentioned it before. Can you tell me the origins of the Giga-kick?
Sure. I used to play soccer back in the days when I was young with my karate team. And I was really good to kick from the air. So when the ball was in the air, before it landed the ground, I would kick from there and score the goal, you know. And this is what did Zidane. Zidane, in one of the Champions League final, he scored the goal. And I just loved it. And I was practicing this in a soccer also, and in karate too. And I saw that every single time I did this kick, they would think that I was doing high kick, because my knee coming from the far distance, and it was kind of, they would react as hands up. So they would block the high kick in the face. So they would block in the face area, and then body was empty. So I was landing my kick in the body. And I was doing this in karate first. And then I moved in kickboxing, and I started to doing a kickboxing. But when I was doing this, mostly before I was doing with my right. And there is no lever if you do with right, you cannot reach a lever. You might break somebody's rib, but there is no lever. And then my dad used to tell me that do that from southpaw. And I was never doing this. And he was telling me that's a lever is other side. You touch that, everybody gonna react bad on this. And then I tried once from the southpaw, and I was shocked that, oh, damn, everybody, it is so special. And then I started to working on this more and more, and kind of mastered myself in this. And now I do whenever I want, and I teach my teammates this, because I believe this kick is the money.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a devastating kick. And I got to be honest, Giga, I, like everyone, I love a good head kick knockout. Everyone loves a good head kick knockout. But, man, there is something about a nasty body shot, that liver shot, that it just Man, it looks painful on TV. Like when you landed it, I grabbed my gut. I was like, oh, that just looks so painful.
Yeah, it's different because when somebody knock you out with a high kick or punch in the face or something, you know that something happened, but you don't know nothing what happened when you wake up. You know, like what happened? You have a question, and oh, really? And okay, I didn't feel anything. You don't feel ashamed or something after, you know, like you feel all right, and you can feel that, oh, okay, now I'm happy that I can go again and fight. But you've been knocked out. You don't know nothing what happened, you know. You just feel bad that you lost. But when this happens to you, this breaks you. Imagine like you got liver kicked and you are on the ground and you can clearly see how your opponent is looking on you from up to down, and you are down there and you are in a kind of spasm, you know. That's what body is doing, and it feels very bad, you know. And I feel bad for every of the guy who experienced that, but yeah, I mean, it's a fighting game, and it's devastating. It's very bad. It's the worst feeling than all the different type of knockouts. You know, you want to do something, but you cannot do. Your body kind of refuses. You know, it's turned off. Yeah.
Would you say? I mean, obviously, a knockout, you're going to take a win no matter what. But if you had to pick, would you say you preferred the body shot knockout?
Hell yeah, for sure. Yeah. I enjoy that, especially with the guys. If I don't like, I mean, with the Cub, you could see that I didn't punch because I like this guy. But I had a couple of cases that I didn't like the guys, like especially in a glory, a couple of guys, you know, and I really wanted to hurt them, and I was planning to land this kick because I really wanted to beat that guy with something that they could go back home and think about that even much more. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was an amazing win. And I know after the fight, you said so much about Cub Swanson. You had so much respect for him. And I know you had a lot of respect for you. And I imagine that means something, right? Like when you beat a guy like Cub, who you do have a lot of respect for, right? That means something.
For sure, yeah. I mean, check his resume. He beat Charles Oliveira, who's fighting for title, Dustin Poirier, who's fighting Conor McGregor. He beat so many other names like Kron Gracie, and all the different names who are the pretty much legends and the future legends in MMA sports. And he also got a couple of defeats, you know, with one of the top guys in the world. He fought Frankie, Max, a lot of different fighters. And he's been in the UFC for 10 years and nobody has knocked him out. Nobody won with knockout, you know. He has his one knockout, like TKO loss in WEC, and it was with Jose Aldo. But in UFC, nobody has done besides me. And I did this in 1 minute and 3 seconds. Of course, this says to me a lot. But I'm taking care of this like one and just another win, because I know there is much more to come for me. I'm in top 10 now, and all my other fighters, other opponents who are in top 10, everybody is so good and so tough. Just I have to be ready for everyone. So I went back on training right away, and I had some hard sparrings with Daniel Dariush, Marvin Vettori, Kelvin Gastelum. What can I wish more? You know, this name says everything. So I'm working really hard, and I'll be ready for anyone.
Yeah, I saw right after your win, you really, I mean, obviously I know it was a quick fight, but right after your win, you're right back in the gym. I know Beneil obviously has a huge fight coming up next weekend, right there helping him get ready. That's the sign of a great teammate. You were right back in there to help him get ready, knowing he has a really big fight of his own coming up.
Yeah, he's a unique, very special person in my life. He's my brother. He's my son's godfather. He's my family member, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited for his fight. He put very hard work. This guy deserved way earlier this kind of fights. Like he's amazing. He's in one of the best shape in his life, and can't wait to see his performance.
Absolutely. Before I get to what comes next, Giga, let me ask you, you've been on this great winning streak. You're undefeated in the UFC. Obviously, you've had 2 knockouts in a row. What do you feel like has been the biggest difference in terms of this win streak? Has it just been a mentality thing? Has it been just you getting better with every fight? Like, what do you feel like has been the biggest factor in, you built a really impressive win streak now.
I feel like this was gonna come. It just my career started wrongly in MMA, professional MMA. I have 2 losses in my MMA career, and I started with first loss, which was I was 145 for 143. I was fighting in Glory that moment, and I had a very hard time. I was in a hospital. They were thinking to cut my hand because I had a very bad infection, and for a little bit, kind of almost 2 weeks, I was like unconscious. I was very bad. And then after this, I came out, and in 4 weeks, I debuted and fought the guy who came 160. We were gonna fight 155. And this guy came 160 also. And he was a wrestler, and I had a 0 wrestling background and ground game. So what did I was beating him, but he took me down and hold me there like nobody hugged me like this in my life. So that was my loss. And then I got a little bit like mentally, I thought, what, this is not what I thought. But honestly, that was the case. It just was unfair. I mean, I was a new guy in the United States, establishing my life, and I was here with my wife and kid, and I needed the money, and that was the reason why I did this fight. Well, things happened. I learned my lesson, went back, did a lot of wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I did compete in jiu-jitsu in different belts. And then I went back in small shows. I did small fight, like the local shows, and fought for them. And I gained this experience, whatever I needed. And then I stepped in UFC, and then I needed some time to get my confidence, like when you debut right away with a guy like Brandon Davis, who already fought with guys like Zabid and all those guys, it's challenging. It's challenging that, this guy is good. He's black belt jiu-jitsu. He has multiple fights in UFC. So, and that was really hard fight, but I was more fighting to myself because I was not sure how my ground game would work. And that was giving me more stress. That's why you could see that after 2 rounds, I was so tired. I was really tired because of myself was making me tired. Then I fought again with a very top prospect, which had jiu-jitsu, wrestling, striking, pretty much everything. Same thing was with him too, and all my fights were also very short notice. The first one was 12 days, second one was 8 days, then was 2 days, then was like 3 weeks. So first 4 fights I did with decision. So I really get the experience in this 1 hour experience, like 4 fights, all for 15 minutes. And all my opponents were very, very tough. But you can clearly see after 2 fights, how big is my how much better I got and how bigger got my confidence. Then after third fight, again, and after fourth fight, which I defeated, undefeated guy who came down from 155, and he was like very scary guy for everybody, and I was underdog in all those fights. And then suddenly they asked me the opponent, like who was ranked top 8 at the time in featherweight. I said no, and he refused the fight. And they matched me up with a different guy, right? And I was already confident, and I knew that was a time to bring the knockout. So I made it, and I felt like that was something that you need a little hole to dig it. Once you dig it and you find it, that's it. So I think I found it, and that's why I landed this nice kick with the Cub and got my KO. And I feel every single time I'm going to step inside the octagon, now it's going to be more easy and easier and easier. Even I'm going to have the very hard opponents. I feel like this is my home now. I own the octagon when I'm inside, and my opponent is going to be like somebody that I want to play with,
Yeah, I love it. With that being said, Giga, you mentioned on Saturday night a couple of different names, and now that you are ranked in the top 10, there's only so many people ahead of you, and obviously you want a big matchup, and I think you've earned a big matchup. Now, you mentioned Max Holloway as a name. You mentioned Yair Rodriguez, which, by the way, either one of those fights I would absolutely love to see. I would love to see how those match up. I know you had a little poll running on your Instagram. Who should you fight next? So you've had a couple of days to think about it. We're a few days removed from the fight. So where's your head at now? If you were making the perfect fight, what is the perfect fight right now for you?
Perfect fight. These two guys probably going to be one of the most entertaining fight in UFC featherweight division history. Like Max, who had such an, I don't know how to see how I can give fame of this performance. He was unbelievably good versus very strong opponent. Calvin Qatar, he's the real deal, man. Like, he's a very scary guy. And he played him with the unbelievable performance he had. Imagine like me and Max in octagon, close the door, and he brings all his fire with the boxing, and me with my kickboxing and karate background game. Like, it's just gonna be definitely something very special. Very, very special. He thinks he's the best boxer in your organization. I think I'm the best striker in the organization. Let's see what's better, boxing or kickboxing or karate. You can call it boxing versus karate. It's very stylistic match, which people, I believe, they're going to enjoy it from the beginning until the end. Or there is another option, Yair Rodriguez, which is 100%. He's a ninja style fighter like me, but I believe I have a little bit more and bit better striking, because I come from karate background, but I have kickboxing as well, and I worked boxing with one of the top coaches in the boxing. So this guy is very good as a taekwondo guy with his flashy kicks, some nice elbows, but I don't think he's gonna be really difficult for me. But I believe this fight is gonna be like Mortal Kombat, like Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. That's gonna be that type of fight.
I love it. Let me ask you, Giga, you mentioned it there with Max, and I know when you talked about both these guys on Saturday, you had a ton of respect for both of them. And I know you have a ton of respect for Max Holloway and Yair Rodriguez, but you said it right there. And that was actually a question I was going to ask you. When you look at the featherweight division, and we are in mixed martial arts, so I'm not trying to make it sound like you don't have a ground game or jiu-jitsu and things like that. But when it comes to standing, striking, when you look at this division, is there any doubt in your head you are the best striker at 145 pounds?
So what was the question? Sorry.
So you believe you are the best striker at 145 pounds?
Yeah, I mean, I believe because I know it, and I know this from the facts. Uh, if you guys check my background, I've been a fighter since the four. I became a world champion in karate first twice, European champion, multiple time national karate champion, and I'm saying in a different type of karate, like not like point karate or something. I fought from point till Kyokushin and full contact, all different type of karate. And I always, when I was young, I was not fighting my age guys. I was fighting I was fighting like older people. I'm a higher age people with different weight divisions, and my fights always were very entertaining. Then I moved to kickboxing, which was not my sport. Like I just moved there because it was a K1 time and was very popular, and you could get paid from there. I was a young guy when I got married. I was 18, and I knew I wanted to feed my family from the money I was gonna get from the fights. And karate pay shit, nothing. So I had to do this move, and for this I really needed to do a hard boxing session. So I did it, and then I moved in kickboxing, and I got I got the European title in Muay Thai. I went in Thailand, fought in one of the top venues there, and won all my fights. And then I moved back again in Netherlands and lived there for 7 years and got my world title twice. And I mean, what else I can dream about? I was in a Glory, and I was in a final twice in the Glory kickboxing, and I beat a couple of champions. And current time when I was number one contender, the champions were running from me and they were not taking the fights. So every single time I fought outside of UFC in MMA, my wins were first round, first minute knockouts. And plus now I'm getting the what I wanted to get inside UFC octagon. And I can talk a lot, and nobody can argue on that.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Giga, it was an amazing win, such an incredible performance, and obviously you've been building this win streak. I don't care if it's Jair or Max. I want to see both those fights. I think those are both fantastic fights, and I think it would be fun. I know your teammate Benil Dariush. I talked to him before he got the Tony Ferguson fight, and one of the things he talked to me about was, mixing things up. Let's see some new fights. Let's see some new matchups, and obviously you got Tony Ferguson. I actually joked with him. I said, that's the fight I wanted. Now it's happening. For you, let's see it. Let's see you and Yair. Let's see you and Max. Let's see some fun new fights, right?
For sure, yeah. I mean, once I get my chance, it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I feel good for fans because in this division now it's a fire, like really fire. All these strikers inside the featherweight division, like it's just unbelievable fights gonna be soon, And I'm the guy. I want to tell all MMA fans that I'm your new guy, So make sure to watch my fights because I'm gonna be one of the best pick from you soon. You guys gonna see it. I do this all for you and for me too. I mean, I enjoy this. When the guy enjoys the fights, he wants to be more busy, and that's who I am. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Giga, again, congratulations on an amazing win. Enjoy a little downtime with the family. I know you're already back in training. Hopefully next time we speak is when you got one of these guys, Jair or Max, however it happens. Looking forward to seeing what you do next. And thank you so much for taking the time today, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your interest. And quickly, I want to give a big shout out to my sponsors, Petrocars Energy Group, Saigon Sports Club, the Models, Ajarabet, Reef LA, and Chef Gerard, who really supported me big time for this camp.